What are the Raiders doing?
They have no idea. Skip Bayless, when you draft a player, regardless of position, you hope that player turns out to do what Khalil Mack did. Regardless of his position, all you can do is hope. Man, I hope the guy that we scouted on tape, that we saw at the combine, that we have in our building now, I really hope we hit this out of the park. Skip, they got a great player. The guy had 15.5 sacks his second year. He's Defensive Player of the Year his third year, and he has 10.5 sacks his fourth year. What kind of price did you think it was going to take to sign him? And this is what I get. John Gruden says the price for Khalil Mack, it got too expensive. Said, the price was just too high. Yeah.
And by the way, his signing bonus, Khalil Mack's, but it was less than Aaron Donald's. So it wasn't,
no, it was more.
No, the signing bonus was a little less, but the guaranteed was more.
I thought
the 90.
I thought Khalil got $60 million.
He had a little less, but he had more overall guaranteed. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
It just sends a terrible message, Skip, because you're punishing Khalil Mack for outperforming, for being better than what you originally thought he was going to be. The guy outperformed the contract. You have to pay. You have to compensate for it. He's 35% of, and it didn't equate, Skip. If you look at Khalil Mack numbers, they still was a team that didn't generate a whole lot of pass rush. But he's 35% responsible for the sacks that they did create.
Yep.
And he's gone now. So this is what we know. Those 2 first-round picks you got, one of them better turn out to be Khalil Mack.
He definitely makes them better. All right, they got one wide receiver now on the roster that's capable of being the #1 wide receiver. So you got 65, 70 plays in offensive game, 70 if you're going well. About 10 or 12 of those plays, you want to build design to your #1 guy to be able to dictate to him. We're going to force the defense to be able to cover him. We're going to force the ball to him in either some situation. He's either going to get the football or he's going to dictate coverage that we're going to allow someone else to be open. Now they have that with Amari Cooper. Why is Amari Cooper a friendly wide receiver? Because you can get him the ball at all 3 levels without straining on your quarterback. He has great game speed as far as being a deep threat. He can come off the line of scrimmage, either bump and run, and be able to get into the deep quadrant of the field. He's a great route runner, intermediate. You could see that since he came into the league, very, very mature as a route runner.
With a running start, Fields and Jacobs, big momentum bouncing off people. Jacobs into the secondary. Convoy escapes and will take it to the house. Incorporated in the past. Tight ends at the bottom of your screen. It is Jacobs following them into the end zone. Alabama, low snap, running along, play action, deep down the middle. Got it. Jacobs, touchdown, gone.
explosive scoring points and stopping people from scoring points against them. But from a personnel perspective, I mean, Trent Brown signing him to the massive contract that they did to play right tackle for them is something that they needed to do. Drafting Josh Jacobs to play running back for them from Alabama is something that they need to do. They have that guy now. They have that guy they can control the ground game with. You know, trading for Antonio Brown was a necessity. Now you have one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League, and in the draft they needed to address pass rush. They drafted Cleveland Ferrell out of Clemson. They drafted Max Crosby out of Eastern Michigan. So I mean, they have two guys now, two young guys that they can bring into the fold. They draft Trayvon Mullen at corner, so now they have some more speed in the back end. They draft Johnathan Abrams out of Mississippi State. I can go on and on and on. These are good young players. Now it's up to John Gruden to go ahead and put this all together. There is no reason why I believe that Oakland can't be at least an 8-8, 9-7 type of football team.
All these guys. Ferrell, is that how you say his last name?
Ferrell.
Skip, I think he's a good player. I think he's a really good player. But it's hard to evaluate him when he got two other guys going to the top 17. So who's eating up the double teams? I thought Josh Allen. See, Skip, I look at a guy, if he's playing with other guys that's not in the first round, and he's able to give you that kind of production, that just lets you know once he gets with other players of his caliber, he's going to really be able to do something where they can't slide the protection and just specifically worry about him. Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence, all those guys, top 17 picks, played alongside Ferrell. That's not to diminish him, Skip, but I believe you could have waited a little later to get this guy. Josh Jacobs. Skip, what's concerning to me, he was the third leading rusher on his own team. He's the only running back taken in the first round. That concerns me. Because guess what? Basically, you traded Lamar. These are forever be linked. 24 and 27. 27. That's Amari Cooper. That's Khalil Mack. You traded a running back for a three-time Pro Bowl wide receiver. What's the Abram? Safety from Mississippi State.
Something, man. If you guys don't know how big a win that was, you'll know tomorrow. It's a hell of a win. It's a team effort. Offense, defense, special teams. Now, the effort was outstanding.